Hello again, and welcome to the guided reading video for the guided reading lesson for this week. So the way it's going to work with guided reading with the home learning is that every week you'll have a reading comprehension to do, which you probably recognise. They look similar to the ones we use in school. So you'll have a text to read, you'll have some questions to answer, sorry I'm stood in front of them, and you'll also have some answers so that you can self-mark them at home. And all of that will be on the website, on the PDF. There will also be a separate guided reading task every week. And this week, the guided reading task that we've given you is taken, or it's based on, a couple of pages from Secrets of a Sun King that we've been reading in school. So what you need to do at home is read those first 2 pages of Secrets of a Sun King that are on the website for you. And then there are some questions for you to do. There are just 3 questions. And the questions that we're having a go at today are all about practicing a particular reading skill that we need to develop in Year 6. And that reading skill is understanding and inferring from the text how characters are thinking, what they're feeling, and their motives for acting the way they do. If you can remember from in school, inferring is when we read between the lines. We read the story or the piece of non-fiction text, and the answer to our question is not necessarily directly in the text. We have to think about what the characters are doing and saying and what that tells us about how they're thinking and feeling and why they're acting the way they are. So the first question here is about Lil, the main character in Secrets of a Sun King. And it says, how do you think Lil, the main character, feels about school? Use evidence from the text to explain your answer. So obviously we might know more because we've read more of the story, but we've got to base our answer on the part of the text we've been given. So what I'm going to do to answer this question, because I need to know how she feels about school, I've already read it once to myself, and now I'm just going to scan quickly through the text to see if I can find the word school and the part of the text where she's talking about school. So I'm just going to have a quick scan through. Oh, I've spotted the word school there, so I'm just going to highlight that. You could highlight it or you could underline it. Does she talk about school anywhere else? Oh, look, the word school is there as well. That seems to be it at the moment. So let's have a look. So there's no point me just reading that one sentence because it might tell me something about what she thinks about school in the sentences before that and in the sentences after that. So I'm kind of going to go back to the beginning of the next sentence, which is quite long, and see what it tells me. We'd been eating breakfast, Mum and me, bumping knees under our tiny kitchen table as we polished off the last of the bread and dripping. I'd be hungry again within the hour. I always was. I was also dreading school. So you could say the day had started as grim as any other. Until I saw the headline in the morning paper. So now she started talking about something else. So I think that might be quite useful to answer my question. Let's have a look at the other one. School. Dad wanted his daughter to be quiet and hard working with her nose always in a textbook. And I was like this, but I could be fierce if I had to be, and I wasn't good at niceties or looking neat for school, which was why when Mum cut my eyes, it's talking about something else now. Now that isn't really telling me how she feels about school, is it? That's telling me more about her character and how she's not very good at being neat and tidy, that kind of thing. So I think I'm going to use this bit of information. I think that's useful to answer this question because it says, she knew she'd be hungry again within the hour. I was also dreading school. So you could say the day had started as grim as any other. So I think this is the bit that's going to help me answer this question. Remember, you don't have to write a full sentence. You just need to answer the question. And we always say in my class, you can't say, how do you think Lil, the main character, feels about school? She loves going skateboarding with her friends. Doesn't answer the question. So you've got to answer the question in your answer. How do you think Lil, the main character, feels about school? I would guess she really doesn't like school at all because she says she's dreading it. And if you're dreading doing something, you're really not looking forward to it at all. You're almost fearful of doing that thing. And it also says the day had started as grim as any other. So it feels like every day she has to go to school is a terrible day. So I'm going to say I'm going to say she hates school actually, because if you're dreading school, it's quite a strong feeling, isn't it? She really hates school because it says, this is my evidence now, isn't it, from the text? This is my answer, this is my point, and this is my evidence. She really hates school because it says she is dreading it. Now, I think that would be enough to answer that question correctly. But I could go on if I wanted to and say something like, it says that the day was as grim as any other, which means that all the days she has to go to school for Lil are pretty terrible. So that's the answer to the first question that I'm going to write. You're then going to carry on, so you can do that first question, which we've sort of done together, but then you're going to carry on and answer the second two questions as well. What are your first impressions of Lil from this extract? Give 2 impressions. And how does Lil feel about her dad? Give evidence for your answers. Before you start, just a quick reminder of what impressions mean. If you are asked to give impressions of a character or of a person, it means how you feel about them, what you think of their personality from what you've seen them do and what you've heard them say. So how do you feel about that character so far? What kind of person are they? So are they brave? Are they anxious? Are they kind? Are they spiteful? What impressions do you get so far? Okay, good luck with your guided reading task, and I'll see you again next week for the next guided reading lesson.